Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to Eric Fumes over Hope's fate, Steffy's fierce warning for Carter, Hope Logan and Carter Walton both thought last night was amazing. Carter intended to go speak with Ridge Forrester and persuade him to restore Hope's line, despite his reluctance to part with Hope. Carter appeared vague on what would happen if this plan didn't work out and stated that he had to try every possible course of action. Carter promised to make things right and received one last kiss since Hope was appreciative of him standing up for her. Eric Forrester, who was obviously upset over Hope being fired, asked Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, whether she was certain of this. Eric was unhappy with this news because he considered Hope to be family, and he assumed that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, was as well. Despite acknowledging Brooke's dissatisfaction, Ridge remained in favor of Steffy's decision. Steffy was sure that Hope had crossed lines by pursuing John Finnegan once more. But Eric argued it shouldn't have come to this and slammed a folder down. Although Steffy desired Hope to avoid her spouse and find another man, she pretended that Hope had caused this situation. Eric said that Hope's termination was personal and that it was improper for business choices to be made on the basis of personal issues. Nevertheless, Steffy insisted that Hope was aware of the repercussions and that she now had to bear them. Steffy predicted that Brooke would activate the waterworks and trigger all of Eric's emotional triggers after he left. When Carter finally showed up in the CEO's office with Ridge and Steffy, he vehemently defended Hope. From Carter's perspective, it was wrong for Steffy to discard Hope and her line due to a miscommunication. Since Carter was siding with Hope, Steffy was unaware of what was happening with him, but she cautioned him to exercise extreme caution. Carter pondered whether he could express his thoughts only if he concurred with Ridge and Steffy. Carter refused to allow Steffy to bring her personal rivalries into the workplace, claiming it demonstrated a lack of leadership. Zend Forrester Dominguez was devastated by what he had missed while he was out of town at Brooke's house. Zend didn't understand Steffy's decision to cut Hope's line at this point. Brooke maintained that Hope had been exiled from Forrester Creations completely and that it was a personal matter. Katie Logan, Heather Tom, who was likewise furious over Hope's outcome, was there to support Brooke. Zend could understand why Steffy may respond negatively after learning more about the Finn misunderstanding. Zend was disappointed at losing his position as lead designer for Hope for the future, but he also accepted Hope's explanation that it was an accident. Zend told her that Steffy's decision would cause reaction and thought that she needed to set aside her sentiments. Hope appeared and consented, but she made a suggestion that perhaps there was yet hope. Hope believed that Carter might halt what Steffy started after she disclosed that he was attempting to contact Ridge. Lainey and Tony flirted with Will Spencer in the design office back at Forrester Creations. Lainey attempted to persuade Will to have some alone time after work, but soon Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, entered the room. Will was more focused on showcasing her talent. Will pretended that Electra was a seasoned pro assisting Ivy Forrester with the jewelry line, despite Lainey's attempts to minimize her as a novice. Will wanted to learn more about Electra once he had some alone time with her. Before determining it would be best to refrain from gossiping, Will briefly brought up the Hope predicament and praised Electra's beauty. Will made inquiries and pointed out some of Electra Forrester's stunning features as he pressed for her story. On Thursday's B&B show, Will and Electra shared some adorable moments together because he could see that she was the kind of lady who left an impression. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Electra and Will's romance appears to have a bright future, but drama on the CBS serial opera is always there. Is Steffy ignorant of Finn's odd change? The Beautiful and Bold has Steffy Forrester is oblivious to Finn's actions, most likely due to her current, more pressing responsibilities on the CBS soap opera. Finn's lack of interest in things tends to go unnoticed because she grew so focused on making the world the way she wants it. Brave and gorgeous, Steffy Forrester is dealing with a yes man. Steffy Forrester's, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, husband was always readily influenced by her on Bold and the Beautiful. He would nevertheless express his viewpoint, even if it was different from hers. However, Tanner Novlan's character John Finnegan no longer seems to have an opinion of his own, particularly when talking to his wife about a subject. Finn didn't appear to feel bad about Hope Logan, Annika Noel, even though she kissed him without permission. He also admitted to Steffy that Hope was humiliated by the event and that ever since, her behavior has been proper around him. Spoilers for John Finnegan, Finn, Tanner Novlin, and Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, in Bold and the Beautiful. However, if his wife railroads the Logan daughter, he doesn't appear to care anymore. When Hope Logan, wearing lingerie, fell on him, he left. He left everything in Steffy's hands instead. After a difficult day of firing Hope and dealing with the immediate fallout, Steffy returns home to see her husband in Wednesday's episode. Steffy was the main source of their rather one-sided communication. Finn simply concurred with his wife's statements. When he began questioning her, Steffy assured John Finnegan that she didn't blame him for the situation. She maintained that Hope Logan was solely to blame. However, the Bold and Beautiful fans were surprised by his response when she mentioned firing Hope. B&B spoilers, is Finn worn down or distracted? Viewers of Bold and the Beautiful witnessed Hope's accident. Wearing an alluring piece of lingerie, she emerged from behind the screen. Then she stumbled and collided into Finn. However, her greeting ought to have been sufficient indication that it wasn't him she was expecting before she even made contact with him. She claimed to have waited for him, but Finn must have realized that she hadn't. The Logan daughter had no way of knowing that Finn would arrive. To keep his presence a secret, he stopped briefly to drop off his wife's tablet. Hope intended to perform her lingerie scene for Lawrence St. Victor's character, Carter Walton. John Finnegan had the opportunity to clarify this at the moment, but he chose to vanish instead. When Steffy Forrester informed him that she had fired Hope Logan, he was given another shot at home. However, all he did was raise his eyebrows. John Finnegan simply followed Steffy's lead when she began to talk about how liberated she felt now. What's going on with Finn now? According to several fans of Bold and the Beautiful, he's behaving preoccupied. Others question whether Steffy's orders have worn him down to the point where he is numb to them all. After first insisting that he avoid his birth mother, his wife has now forbidden him from seeing Hope. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, was there a twist coming or did Steffy break him? Finn was manipulated by Steffy Forrester in Bold and the Beautiful. At last, he consented to avoid Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown. Additionally, Hope Logan is currently prohibited, so his wife has created a list for him. When his wife puts someone off limits, she always gets her way with Finn. Finn may have finally grown tired of her shenanigans. He doesn't appear to be listening this week as Steffy Forrester babbles on about her issues with her stepsister. More significantly, he allows Hope to suffer this injustice even though he possesses the solution. Finn and his wife are still in a romantic relationship, but their communication style has changed. This may be the quiet before the storm, according to some Bold and the Beautiful fans. Others then advise him to ignore his wife's harassment. If so, though, it won't last long. The reappearance of Luna Nozawa, played by Lisa Yamada, next week could be the final straw. She is the ailing and troubled cousin of Finn. Therefore, Steffy might put her on the list of individuals he cannot associate with, even though he might still want to see her. Perhaps he wakes up when someone else is added to his list. Brave and gorgeous Finn has changed, and some viewers believe Steffy Forrester wore him down. Or he is distracted from his wife's problems by something in life. Others speculate that there may be a twist in the wind, perhaps as a result of Steffy Forrester's bullying finally catching up with her. Fans of B&B believe that John Finnegan finally takes a stance and revokes all of the directives he has previously obeyed for her in order to maintain harmony on the CBS serial opera. Fan reaction to Hope and Carter's hasty romance. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan and Carter Walton have allowed themselves to become enmeshed in some passionate emotions. Carter and Hope moved from being friends to so much more in what seemed like the blink of an eye. We'll give Lawrence St. Victor a lot of credit for portraying Carter's newly discovered love for Hope because he is a gifted actor. St. Victor is contributing to the sales of this since Carter undoubtedly views Hope as the center of his universe. Additionally, Annika Noel is performing admirably. Noel has been portraying her character's thankful relief since Hope has at last found a man she can trust. However, when the screenplay is weak, actors can only do so much. This fast love story is failing miserably because Hope and Carter's relationship was not given any real development or depth. Prior to their eventual love profession exchange, Hope referred to Carter as the man of her dreams in the November 6th episode. Even though B&B was already going far too quickly, they have now really gone too far. How could Carter and Hope have previously announced their love for one another? We understand that soap opera romances usually progress quickly, but this plot is really going above and beyond. There has undoubtedly been fan criticism on social media as a result. The show's attempt to portray Hope and Carter into a romantic couple without merit is being criticized by many fans. Naturally, after a few romance episodes, some fans have started making fun of B&B for acting as though Carter and Hope are deeply in love. Others are truly annoyed since a little more planning and time would have made this story much better. In the months after Thomas Forrester's departure, Hope ought to have been relying on Carter rather than daydreaming about John Finnegan due to a one-sided crush. Regarding Carter, he says he had been feeling this way about Hope for a long time, but until recently, he only seemed nice. It will be difficult for the CBS soap opera to create a plot that feels authentic now that Hope and Carter's romance was unexpected. What are your thoughts on the hurried romance between Carter and Hope? Do you believe that the show rushed, particularly when Hope and Carter declared their love for one another? We'll see whether a quick marriage proposal is imminent because our predictions indicate that Carter and Hope will continue on this rapid course. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope and Carter's relationship will continue to make headlines, so tune in for any exciting updates. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter Walton may be showing signs of a surprising shift, reminiscent of the drastic moves once made by Justin Barber. If Carter, known for his loyalty and principles, is indeed taking a page out of Justin's playbook, the Forrester family could be facing an unexpected betrayal from one of their own trusted allies. This storyline could provide a jolt to Forrester Creations and potentially disrupt the delicate power dynamics among the Forresters, Logans, and Spencer families. ### Carter's transformation, from loyal ally to potential threat. Carter has always been seen as a stabilizing force at Forrester Creations, a moral and ethical figure who often served as the voice of reason. However, recent developments suggest that Carter may be willing to bend his principles, particularly as his romantic and professional frustrations build up. Following heartbreak and constant sidelining in his personal life, as well as feeling underappreciated in his professional role, Carter could be reaching a breaking point. Like Justin Barber, who once served as Bill Spencer's right-hand man but ultimately turned against him, Carter might be eyeing an opportunity to assert his power. The seeds of discontent and the potential for vengeance have been subtly planted over time, and it would only take a few calculated moves for Carter to flip the script on Forrester Creations, shocking everyone who believed he would never turn against the family. ### Echoes of Justin's betrayal, a shift in power dynamics. Justin Barber's betrayal of Bill Spencer was rooted in a sense of being underappreciated and taken for granted. Similarly, if Carter feels that the Forresters don't value him as much as he deserves, he may justify turning against them in a quest for personal empowerment and respect. Like Justin, Carter has access to inside information, knows the Forrester family's vulnerabilities, and has the skills and connections to disrupt their operations. If Carter is indeed planning to pull a Justin Barber, it could lead to significant turmoil within the company. Not only does he have knowledge of Forrester Creations' inner workings, but he also holds the trust of many key players, especially in the legal and business areas. This insider advantage would make him a formidable adversary if he chose to act against them. ### How Carter could unravel Forrester Creations. Should Carter decide to pursue a path of betrayal, he could disrupt Forrester Creations in several ways. 1. Legal leverage. As Forrester Creations' lawyer, Carter has access to confidential information and legal strategies that he could exploit. He could uncover or reveal hidden weaknesses, past mistakes, or even initiate lawsuits that could damage the brand's image or financial stability. 2. Corporate sabotage. Like Justin, who attempted to manipulate the Spencer family from within, Carter could undermine the Forrester family by manipulating contracts, business deals, or confidential client relationships, causing significant chaos behind the scenes. 3. Allying with rivals. One of the most impactful ways Carter could hurt the Forresters would be to align himself with a competitor. If he teamed up with someone like Bill Spencer, Thomas Forrester, or even someone from outside the family who wants to see Forrester creations fall, Carter's insider knowledge would become an asset to any rival fashion house. For emotional manipulation, Carter's close relationships with key members of the Forrester family, especially Ridge, Eric, and Brooke, give him the power to sway decisions or even plant seeds of doubt and mistrust among them. This type of emotional manipulation could weaken the unity that holds the Forrester family and company together. Consequences for the Forrester family. If Carter does betray the Forrester family, the emotional fallout would be intense. Ridge and Eric, who have trusted Carter implicitly, would feel personally devastated. Brooke, who has always regarded Carter as an honorable man, would likely be shocked and hurt by his betrayal. His actions could push the Forresters to close ranks, but it could also drive a wedge between family members if Carter exposes buried secrets or stirs up conflicts. Moreover, Carter's actions could ripple out to impact other characters beyond the Forrester family. His former lover, Quinn, might see his betrayal as a reflection of her own past and feel a complex mix of guilt and understanding. Hope and Steffy, who have worked closely with him on various projects, could also be forced to reassess their trust in those around them, creating an atmosphere of mistrust that would leave the company vulnerable. Carter's redemption or descent into villainy? The question remains whether Carter would fully embrace a darker role or if he's merely lashing out temporarily. If his actions are driven by a moment of disillusionment, there's potential for a redemption arc. Perhaps his betrayal is part of a larger plan to prove a point to the Forrester family, showing them what they risked by undervaluing him. If he's given the chance to explain his motives, fans might empathize with his frustration and see his actions as a way to assert his worth. On the other hand, if Carter continues down this path, it could mark a definitive shift in his character, aligning him with some of the more antagonistic figures on The Bold and the Beautiful. This darker side could open up new, complex storylines where Carter becomes a rival to the Forresters, testing the strength of their family bonds and corporate resilience. Fan reaction and potential impact on storylines. Fans have long rooted for Carter as a good-hearted, steady presence on the show, so this potential betrayal could be shocking yet exciting. Many viewers have expressed interest in seeing Carter take on a storyline with more edge and complexity. Drawing comparisons to Justin Barber's dramatic betrayal arc, Carter's potential for turning on the Forresters could add a fresh dynamic to the show, reinvigorating his character while raising the stakes for Forrester creations. Whether Carter's actions are driven by a desire for respect, a response to personal disappointments, or a calculated scheme for revenge, his transformation could reshape the landscape of The Bold and the Beautiful. As viewers watch to see whether he'll pull back from the brink or fully embrace this new direction, his storyline promises to add tension, intrigue, and depth to the ongoing power struggles that define the series.